Matthew 2:22. Akousos de hati Archelaus basilue tes Judaias anti tu patras autou Herodu ephebethe eke ap elthein crematis thes de kat aner anakorison estamere tes Galileas. So Joseph is going to return to Israel as instructed by an angel, but, and again, the only way we know whether to translate des, but, or and is the context, but when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in the place of his father appositionally restated there as Herod, he was afraid to go there, and being warned, a causal sense there probably, right, because he was warned in a dream, he withdrew to the parts, that is, to the region of Galilee. Okay, let's take a look at more detail. Let's begin with this participle akousos. It reminds you the aorist participle forms lusas, lusasa, lusan, lusantas. That is just an aorist active participle. It's nominative masculine singular describing Joseph. And we're translating it temporally, when he heard, but obviously there's a causal sense too, right? It's because he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea. Now, I translated, at least I think I translated this as in the past, Archelaus was reigning over Judea, but you'll note that it actually is the present tense. But if we try to translate it that way, now when Joseph heard that Archelaus is reigning over Judea, you're like, well, that doesn't sound right. Well, in Greek, when you report indirect speech, as we're doing here, he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea, you retain the sense, you retain the tense of the original direct speech. In other words, someone could tell Joseph, hey, did you know Archelaus is reigning over Judea? And the tense of that original direct statement is retained, even though it's reported indirectly now. There's so many other things we could say here. Perhaps one thing we will say, you'll note that when you have a verb of reigning, right, to reign, R-E-I-G-N, to reign, that a verb like that takes a genitive object or genitive complement. That's why Judaias is in the genitive, to reign over Judea. You might also perhaps classify that as a genitive of subordination, but I think most likely, most resources would recognize it as a genitive direct object or genitive complement as necessitated by a verb of reigning.